Alright everyone, quiet down, it's time to begin. Does anyone know the answer to... Wait a second, you, the tall one in the back row, you're not one of my students. Yes I am. Why would you think I'm not? You're taller than me and you have a foot-long beard. Oh, it's steroids. Kids these days. What's your name, lad? Al-Halarizmi. Well, Al-Halarizmi, why don't you answer the first question for us? Yes! I mean, if you say so, Prof. Well, come up here then. What is 3 plus 2 times 4 equal to? Well, you see, Prof, if you set it equal to x, put it in a formula and... Prof? Prof? Drat. He's dead. Why does this always happen? Algebra isn't that intimidating. Algebra. A thing of wonder, a thing of beauty, a thing of panicked classrooms. Every good student knows what the quadratic formula is, as every good student also knows that x is a far superior variable to y. What every good student may not know is who deduced the intricate beauties of algebra, and in doing so, laid the road of toil and pain for every student who fails to ascertain its nuances. And the award for best mathematician goes to... I can't read this. It's Muhammad ibn Musa al-Halarizmi, you illiterate imbecile! Muhammad ibn Musa al-Halarizmi, known as the father of algebra, is indeed the man who officiated the marriage between the alphabet and arithmetic. While little is known about his life, historians were able to discover that he was born and that he died. His name indicates that he originated from Khwarezma, a dominion that is now part of Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. However, he lived in Baghdad for the majority of his life, and it is within this renowned city that he wrought his greatest works. But, you might say, what in the Arabian Nights was happening in the 8th and 9th centuries? Wasn't everything back then about war? What would you like today, Mr. Caliph? I like war with an extra dose of war. No, as a matter of fact, it wasn't all war. It was a time of learning, of economic growth, of improving toleration between ethnic and religious groups, of cultural beauty. Oh, and Al-Amin, the current Abbasid Caliph, just broke an inheritance agreement with his brother, Al-Mamun. Al-Mamun then turned on his brother, defeated him in battle, and had him executed. Whew, I'm glad we're done with that tedious business. What should we do now, fellas? Well, boss, I know we've already done this like a bazillion times, but we could invade the Byzantine Empire again. Georgie? Yeah, boss? That is a fantastic idea. Okay, then perhaps there were a few wars. However, back in Baghdad, all was mathematical bliss for Al-Halarizmi. Around the year 820 AD, he was appointed as the head of the famed library of the House of Wisdom, a place of astute men, thick books, and long beards. It was in this abode of erudites that Al-Halarizmi composed his writing entitled The Compendious Book on Calculation by Completing and Balancing, also known as Algebra, from which the word algebra is derived. This book provided an exhaustive account of solving polynomial equations up to the second degree, and discussed the fundamental methods of reduction and balancing, terms referring to the transposition of values or algebraic units to the opposite side of the equation to facilitate the deduction of unknown quantities or variables. He also formulated the system to complete the square, as well as other algorithmic processes that put equations into one of 6 standard forms. This use of algorithms inspires some to call him the grandfather of computer science. His second most influential work was on the subject of arithmetic, which survived in Latin translations but was lost in the original Arabic. This book went on to introduce the Arabic numeral system to the Western world, setting in motion a process that led to the use of the 9 Arabic numerals, together with the 0 sign. 0? I don't get it. It's nothing. Nothing? What's nothing? Think of it like this. If I took everything you owned, what would you have? How dare you threaten me? Thief! I quit. His works would eventually influence Fibonacci and the renowned Franciscan friar, Roger Bacon. Thus, my friend, next time you find yourself relishing a delightful algebraic problem, always remember to thank the medieval scholar Al-Halarizmi, the father of algebra. But never let it be said that the discovery of algebra was one-dimensional. This is how algebra's discovery could have happened. Yes, I discovered algebra! Teach, sorry to break it to you, but the Vikings discovered it first. No! Why? Get used to it, math man. The Vikings discovered everything first. Eureka! Forget algebra, gravity exists. Time to go invent calculus. What? Who are you? The name's Newton. Isaac Newton. I'm suing for copyright infringement. But I discovered it first. Sorry, mate. Big wigs get first dibs. Well, fiddle faddle. Sir, your work is amazing. Thank you, but you must excuse me now, for I have a prior engagement I must see to. My Lord Musk, thank you for sharing your vast knowledge of mathematics with me. Of course, my loyal subject. I must find my way home. And to do that, humanity must discover space travel, one step at a time. Your work on algebra is one of those first steps. Serve me well, and I will see that your descendants reap the fruits of your labor centuries from now. Of course, master, but please continue to expound to me the wonders of mathematics. Perhaps another day. I have business with the Aztecs. I will return. Aliens are awesome! But according to algebraic probability, this is how it really could have happened. Georgie, my life is nearing an end. Please promise me that you will publish these papers and share the beauty of algebra with the world. Sir, please don't leave. Bleh. I will protect these papers with my life. I will share them with the world and keep them lively and strong and... The next day. Who needs algebra anyway? Yeah, it was all about equality for equations. Who cares about equality for equations? Math is about showing hierarchy, not equality. Exactly. And don't forget about that completing the square silliness. Ugh, yeah. Who needs squares? Edges only divide. We need peace. Yes, all we need is a smooth circle of hierarchy and peace. And that, my friend, is the kind of logic the world would be left with if it weren't for algebra. So, next time you and algebra aren't getting along great, think of how history could have happened. Hey, you! Subscriber will stuff a formula longer than my beard down your throat. Boss, you can't say that. Terry, are you subscribed? No.